Hi there, Shanice Tuck here with another free and fun idea for music education. You know, the word training has a lot of different associations and it can mean lots of different things to so many different people. Some people love it, they train physically, train every day, and they love training, so their mind with a lot of positive energy about it. But some other people, not so much. Some people have really negative feelings attached to the word training because of past experiences. But we're here to make that fun. We're here to make training fun again for you. Today I want to share with you a short excerpt of our new training program. This is part of our composition workshop. That's included with every Fun Music Company curriculum subscription. In this training, we aim to demystify the challenge of teaching composition and really make it fun and accessible for you and all of your students. So sit back and enjoy this little excerpt from the training, and if you want more, make sure you join the full Fun Music Company curriculum program and you'll find it in your members area. So let's start with number one. Is composition. What is it? And why is it in the curriculum? Now, I've contemplated this for such a long time, ever since I first read the Australian curriculum, where it said that students, even at young grades, should create compositions and perform music to communicate ideas to an audience. And we've been thinking about ways to do this, because frankly for me, composition is not something I grew up with. Like many music teachers, I came through the school system in a traditional kind of band approach. I learned the clarinet in school and I was in the school band. I don't even remember much music in primary school. I do remember choir with a bit of an old grumpy old conductor once, where we had to sing and what we were given, but that was about it in those days. We didn't really have a music class as such. There was just a singing in choir. As for high school, I started learning the clarinet and I played in the school band. That was about it. I did theory certainly, and when I got to university, I had to study both jazz and classical theory. However, composition? That was something that only people in composition courses did back then. Most of us didn't even do it at all. We all thought that music was about playing music or performing. It's only really about the last 20 years or so, when these curriculum documents have been created, that composition has really been included. And it's because, quite rightly, people outside the traditions of music looked at it and they want to make sure that creativity is a major part of the curriculum. Also, on a bigger scale, creativity is something that curriculum writers all want to do in as many subjects as possible. Outside of just music, the leaders and creators of curriculum programs want children to be creative, and all subjects, quite rightly, have to have elements of creativity in them. Some subjects, such as mathematics and science, the scope for creativity can be a little more limited. And that's why they want to make sure that where creativity is possible, that it is explored as much as it can be. I've talked about this many times in speaking about composition, and I've posed this question. What would it be like if visual art was taught the same way as music was traditionally taught? Now just think about it for a second. Would you say to a child, now here's your paintbrush. What you need to do is hold it in this particular way. You're only allowed to use 3 colours to start with, and the rest of them you haven't learned yet. I'll tell you exactly where to paint them and when. We're going to start by painting my simplification of the Mona Lisa. You've got to replicate it as close as possible to the way I want you to paint it, and if you vary it, well, it's just wrong. Now that just sounds silly, doesn't it? There's no creativity in it at all. All it is replicating what the great painters have done before. However, isn't that effectively what we're doing in music sometimes? We give them an instrument, we teach them 3 notes, and then we get them to play Beethoven's Ode to Joy for the first time. So teaching composition needs to be a bit of a mindset shift to thinking more like visual art teachers. Now, a visual art teacher gives a child a blank piece of paper and might give them some prompts. But the student is allowed to express themselves in their own picture. They're allowed to choose their own colours, and it's not going to be wrong. In fact, it's celebrated, and students get rewarded for coming up with new ideas, even if they might not be visually perfect. And that's what we've got to be able to do in music. We have to learn to give guidelines give ideas and discuss processes, but ultimately they need a bit of space to express ideas. And we have to change expectations. If we're spending time opening up creativity, then we can't expect perfection in performance as well. There has to be a compromise, and we need to learn to praise and get excited, really excited, when students create their own compositions, because it's a big thing, even if they aren't performed with perfect execution every single time. So that is why it is there, in a nutshell. Because music is a creative art, and without composition, music's not really creative at all. That's also in line with other creative art disciplines such as drama, dance, and visual arts. And they all have that element of creativity in them, and that is why all curricula have it inside.